everyone, and welcome to Dice Roll, the Queerest Pathfinder Podcast on the planet. We ask the hard questions like, what traits are considered attractive in fantasy species society?
I mean, it changes.
Yeah,
for the
obviously.
people,
I think
probably.
yeah,
culturally it would just change depending on where you are and who is the most common ancestry in the area.
Well, let's say, let's do it like a smorgasbord of ancestries, right? Like, what is attractive in a goblin to another goblin?
Lack of lips. The less lip you have, the better.
So, like, more fang?
Yeah, the more teeth you can see on a goblin, the prettier they are.
I think
Okay.
the more vibrant green.
That's good,
Ooh,
too.
that's
That's
also
good.
Maybe it's also the reddish eyes.
Oh, you
true.
know, I think that makes sense. Like, if your eyes are, like, particularly red and glowing, that seems like... And it probably might be true of hobgoblins as well, since they're basically goblins that got transformed too long.
Height probably has something to do there with them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think with kobolds, it's like horns, right? Like, it's gotta be horns.
Kobolds
surely.
definitely has to be horns.
Oh,
and probably,
it's got to be horns and like scale patterns.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say scale patterns.
Yeah.
Elves? Do you think
I think
ear
Hair
length?
I think
I like-
that elves like prettiness.
Yeah, surely.
Like
It's like-
specifically prettiness. Like obviously an individual
Yeah.
elf can find like masculinity
Yeah.
attractive,
Oh yeah.
but I think
I
that
like the
they-
idea of elves being hair length and like prettiness. Volio's fucking ugly.
he's gorgeous
God.
and sexy to me.
To you.
Dwarves, I think, obviously beard, right? Like, surely. Like, how well...
Like a
Oh, yeah.
well-maintained beard, and probably.
But I also think...
Go ahead.
I think cleanliness is probably a big thing with dwarves, right?
Yeah,
like-
I think so.
You can't be a messy boy. You have to have, like, your nails gotta be clean.
Well, isn't
You've
one
gotta
of their
have, like...
culturally? Don't they care a lot about discipline and stuff like that
Yeah, exactly.
and tradition? Yeah. So I feel like cleanliness. Yeah, that makes sense a lot.
Leshy.
Apple.
Colors. More
Colors make
colorful.
sense. I want to hear your pitch for apple Ritz.
Fruit. Bear fruit.
Yup. Agree.
Viable fruit.
Okay.
Edible fruit.
Don't say it like that.
Viable.
Viable fruit. What?
Wink.
That's most
They're
unappetizing.
good at receiving pollen.
Ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now that we get to like the weird things of it, are you suddenly backing away? Are you scared? I'm sorry. I thought we were having a discussion.
Well, let's
You don't
just
like my
do-
answer because it's too real for you?
Let's just do one more.
Okay.
Let's just do one more. Just a classic Pathfinder fantasy ancestry, and we figure out what
Yeah, sure.
they find attractive about each other. Trucks.
Trucks?
Trucks. Trox. Trucks. Everyone's favorite Pathfinder
this is
ancestry.
Trucks.
Trucks.
The slur from Teen Titans for Starfire?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Well, that's not what they are.
Trucks.
Well, I want you to go to Google and look up Trox, Trox, and tell me what they find attractive in each other.
Oh.
Trox Pathfinder.
I think that they find a nice smile attractive.
Hey, these things are playable in 1E,
Oh.
just so you know.
Fuck it.
Arm length.
They are giant arthropodal humans. They're like size large. They're covered in chitinous armor. They got mandibles. They've got, like,
Humanoid,
6
I would
arms.
argue. Not human.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, well, they're very barely humanoid. Let's be real. They're aliens. Holy shit! They
They
came to
fucking
Galar-
look like it. That thing just walked straight out of Ben 10.
It does.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think these things. Yeah, I think Dave was right on the money. A nice smile.
No, not even a mother could love that face, I don't think.
You said this, Rich. I guarantee that there's gonna be like 5 or 6 listeners who will go into our dear sweet Discord server and be like, "I'd fuck a Trox," and you know what? They're right.
And I'm gonna be disappointed in them all the same.
Okay.
Don't fuck that.
Okay. They come from one of the moons of Pathfinder Jupiter, just so you know.
Oh, that changes everything.
Does it?
No.
Oh, sorry, they come from Pathfinder Saturn. My mistake.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Does it?
Yeah.
There we go. I'm pretty sure it's a gas giant too, which is extra interesting. Would we like to play? Would we like to play some Pathfinder, fellas?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, when we last left our adventurers in the Abomination vaults, the Fogfen Few took a weekend off from adventure. Alrik Reva spent some time with Fiore's Sunchaser, learning more about Fiore's sorceress tendencies, quote-unquote, and about the nature of his wellspring magic. Afterwards, Alrik met with Silk in the mansion, where Alrik revealed his great secret to Silk, that he has something mysterious under the hood, something which was not shared with those who listened to this tale from afar. That night, Silk was visited by a strange vision where he ate Alrik's flesh, and it wasn't a vorting. When he woke up...
It was gay.
But it was a gay thing.
It was very gay.
It was a gay thing, but it wasn't a vor thing, I promise.
It was a gay thing, but not a vorting. Trust.
Jesus.
When Silk came to, he had devoured a raw flank of steak in the middle of the kitchen. Whatever happened to Silk in the dungeons, it has followed him home. The next morning, Silk encountered Fiore in the Otari market with his friend, Evanwer Cancelier, and the two of them set up a double date. Soon after, Alrik caught up with Fiore as well, and revealed his secret to him as well. Now the Fogfen Few regroup, ready to take on the dungeon once more. But who knows what lies in wait inside. So fellas, shall we set the scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrik, Silk, and Fiore. Alrik, Silk, and Fiore. Mud presses against your boots as you make your way through the Fogfen. It is maybe noon now as you make your way deeper into the woods on your way to the Gauntlight Keep. And you have some time to discuss with each other your plans. You do intend on returning into the library today, but maybe you won't go the same way you already have. Maybe you will. Maybe you will march proudly back into the main hall, or perhaps you will seek out one of the other stairs deeper into the dungeon, finding some other way to explore. I will leave all three of you to it and ask, how are you all doing this fine morning?
I think Fiore's excited.
Yeah?
He likes going back. I mean, he actually does like the dungeon, so he's fine. I think he's like concerned for Silk, but he himself is like, yay.
Alrik is also concerned for Silk and Fiore. He likes exploring the dungeon, but the ghoul thing isn't something he's very excited about. I know that for sure. He's probably mulling over different points of entry, so just to make sure that they're not in too serious danger going in, hopefully.
I think that Silk is actually poring over his Astronomicon maps to see maybe where they could possibly enter and get back down there as safely as possible.
Okay. You've definitely marked all of it, right?
Yeah.
You've been doing a very good job mapping this place out, so I think you are very unlikely to get lost. You know?
it's not about getting lost. Silk is very particular about mapping and knowing the way, so he's not worried about that. The concern is getting back down there without getting hurt or stopped by something.
And is that a concern, do you think?
Yeah. Remember last time we came back in, there was a fucking bomb. It was a stink bomb, but either way.
Like, cause yeah, here's the thing. If the Morlocks would do it, then like the ghouls, who so far have proven to be more intelligent, are equally likely to, right?
Exactly.
So, what is the plan? As you guys all make your way through, you know that there is the elevator that you found near the torture dungeon. There is the... excuse me. There is the well with the strange voices from within. And there is another stair down that Borbo wanted to show you, or said that he could show you if you so chose.
Going over one of the pages, Silka's like, why don't we use that elevator that we found?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me click our way down.
I think it's much better than our first point of entry. And who knows, maybe the ghouls have fortified that area without us knowing.
Plus,
Exactly.
less stairs.
Also, less stairs,
There
yes.
are so many stairs. I love dungeons, but that's not my favorite part.
It was very exhausting.
At the very least, most of it is going down. Going up when we want to leave is also very tiring.
I'm imagining you guys leaving after especially even the last session where you guys were really fucked up and be like, oh fuck, oh my god.
Fiore,
It's so funny.
You did find out about teleportation circles in the dungeon. So that is something that you guys are aware of that could be useful later, but you have no idea how to reactivate them yet.
I see.
So, as you all approach, you see the Gauntlight ruins. And then I want you all to make a perception check.
I don't like that.
Already?
Yeah, just as you're coming out up to the front, you're kind of stretching, getting your, rolling your shoulders and stuff.
It's something's different.
No, you all hear it.
Oh.
You hear a howl.
A howl?
It echoes from the swamp. And at first, I think all three of you are like, holy shit, a wolf, right?
Yeah.
But then
But
two of you become convinced of one thing one way or another. Alrik, you are certain in your bones that that is indeed a wolf. Lupus canis, the grey wolf. And it is definitely one that lives here locally, which is strange because you don't really get wolves in the swamp. Right?
Yeah.
But Fiore, you don't know that you necessarily agree that it's a wolf. Because it's in the swamp, you believe it might be a barghest.
Okay.
Which is not much better. Let's be being upfront, not much better. A barghest is a awful. You guys know the Hound of the Baskervilles?
yeah.
In English mythology, there's this creature called the Black Dog, right? An omen of death, a fiendish spirit that takes the shape of a hound. Sirius Black, Harry Potter, that kind of thing. To you, it doesn't make sense that it would be a wolf. You're more immediately like, oh shit, might that be a barghest? What would one be doing here, though? That's not good. Meanwhile, again, Alrik, you are convinced that is a real, actual wolf, or at least something that sounds stupendously like one. And I think both of you freeze up a little bit. Silk, you heard it, but you can't quite identify it much. I don't think you are quite accustomed to countryside living to be able to like finally point out the exact cadence of like different howling canines.
Silk said, "Oh, creepy."
He's
What I will say,
not only is he a city boy, he's a morning boy and he sleeps early.
what I think all of you can agree is that it is the sound of a canine that is surprisingly close.
I don't like it being close.
It is muffled, so it's not like nearby, but it's like more nearby than you would want it to be.
I think Silk hugs his book to him quickly, hearing that, and is like, "What was that?"
I think it was a bar guest.
You...
Thought it was a wolf.
Canine?
Something along those lines.
Whatever it is, can we get away from it?
Well, how far away are they from the town?
Not so close that it would be an immediate danger, but closer than you would appreciate it.
Fiore kind of frowns and he's like, I don't know. I don't like how close it is to the town. I know it's not immediate danger, but what if a kid wanders out?
Would you all like to make me as well a quick society check?
I would never in my life make a society check. I don't believe in society.
You're asking too much.
Or Alrik, you specifically can make a bardic lore check if you so chose.
Oh, thank God. +3 when I can do a +11. Good God.
Okay. Alrik, you recall with a start. But wait, the stories of the ghost wolf. That the killer of Kilano Latner's wife, the ghost wolf still lives.
Oh, well, the killer.
The killer. Ghost werewolf serial killer. That's a rumor that you recall, and you're like, briefly.
I was thinking about that, yeah.
Alrik was like, I fear I've spent too much time with that man.
My dead wife.
This man.
Remember the man who runs the market?
Oh. I didn't even think
the
about
man with
that
the
before.
dead wife.
Yeah. Yeah, the man with the dead wife.
Yes, him.
I mean, it could very well be.
I suppose it's worth some investigation, just in case. I can at least peek through the trees to see if there's anything strange close to us.
If you're sure, but be careful.
You know that if you were able to prove that, like, whatever has been making those howls wasn't ghost werewolf serial killer, it would probably set him quite at ease.
Mm-hmm. I think we should.
Oh, he's a family friend. Okay, just give me a little bit. Alrik being himself, he knows how to climb trees.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he climbs up, like, one that he can see that has a sturdy branch that can at least hold him.
Okay.
So, I think he climbs up one and looks around for anything wolf-esque or any weird shapes running through the woods or stalking the woods, anything like that.
Yeah, do you want to make me a survival check? Or a perception check,
that.
your call.
My perception's better.
Survival check, so you survive falling off this fucking tree.
Smart.
So, Alrik, what I think you get with your survival check is you do take a look around. and you do try to figure out if there's anything particularly wolfy around. But what you quickly get is that this terrain here, the Fogfen, is not really suitable for supporting wolves. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe Fiore's theory about a Barghest could hold some credence because, Barghest can kind of just be wherever death goes, right?
Yeah.
Wolves aren't really common in swamps, right? They don't have enough prey, there's too much water. They prefer solid woodland, which, all things considered, right next to the Fogfen are trees, Like, there is woodland nearby. As you kind of scour the area, I think you feel this feeling in yourself like, no, that just does not make sense to me. But you're still, that's the thing, you're still certain that was a wolf you heard. These two beliefs do live inside you, right? That this place cannot be hospitable to wolves, but also that was definitely a wolf.
He sighs and yells down to the two. I'm sure it was a wolf or something akin, but likely not in the fog. Maybe more towards the forest, but I'm not sure.
Well, would you like to detour?
Well, we have all day.
If you guys want to spend an hour searching the area to make quadruple sure, you definitely can.
I mean, I don't mind.
Well, I know a quick way towards the forest, so shouldn't be too long.
If you'd like to all roll me a survival check, I think you can probably scour a good surrounding chunk of land. Maybe not going into the open Fogfen itself, because that shit is going to be Silk, you fall into the mud.
Are you serious? I'm not asking in disbelief, I'm asking you to confirm.
I don't think, Silk, you fall into the mud. But I do think... Holy shit! I do think you were about to step off the path into the fen when who's that putting a hand on your shoulder and pulling you back? But Fiore Sunchaser shaking his head at you like, careful.
He's like, you were about to fall straight into the mud.
Ugh. I'm not built for walking out here.
You were fully about to, but I think Fiore catches you just before that beautiful, beautiful boot squishes knee-high into, like, the mire.
Thank God for Fiore Sunchaser.
Happy to help.
Alrik, you got a high enough check. I think, Fiore, you also got really high. Silk, sorry. This isn't your area of expertise.
It's a +2. I didn't expect any fucking miracles to happen.
Mine's a +1.
Yeah, Fiore just rolled high.
That's really funny, actually.
Fiore, you scour for a while, and you find no sign of a Barghest. You'd normally expect stuff like footprints seared into the swamp, or, an acrid smell in the air. You don't find any of that. Alrik, furthermore, even in the woodlands nearby, there just isn't the prey you'd need for wolves in these parts, right? Deers are a little bit put off by the lumber work that goes on near Otari, and that kind of, you'd need that kind of size of prey for there to be a sustainable wolf population here. So, neither of you are able to confirm or deny your theories, but certainly there just does not seem to be any in the swamps around.
Honestly, this is starting to feel like a bit of a goose chase. Are you sure it wasn't just the wind?
No, it was definitely something, but... we can continue on. It's okay. But let's just try to keep an eye out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to head back into the dungeon? Retrace your steps to find your way to the elevator down and continue exploring the library?
Yeah.
You guys make your way back through the ruins, back through the darkness, and into the dungeon. You find that place, the little elevator, and Fiore, you gingerly press that skull, and the floor shakes and shudders beneath you before slowly lowering itself to the floor below. And you stop in a identical circular room that feels something like 40, 50 feet below the last one. Right?
Mhm.
Like, it's quite a drop. You're in there for maybe like, I want to say a minute of it just slowly grinding downwards. And then it
Whoa.
comes to a stop. And there is a door to the north and a door to the south. What do you guys want to do? According to the notes you have on your on the Astronomicon, it looks like if the torture chamber elevator was near enough the big scary worm room you found before, then this place is probably still relatively close to the big scary scriptorium that you found on the floor below, the one where Silk got ghouled. What do you guys do now that you're here? Borbo kind of pokes out over your hat, Silk, and says,
Oh, it is scary to be here once more. I am frightened. Feel me shivering.
It's okay, Bulbo.
Mr. Silk, I am shivering.
You can't shiver,
he
you're
rattles,
just a
he
doll.
rattles intentionally.
Oh. Bulbo. It's okay. We just need to be careful. That's all.
Well, what now? Where do you guys want to head? Because, like I said, there's a north, there's a south. You believe you are pretty close to the big, scary circle room that you were in before.
Let's open the north.
Sure.
Okay, so before anything else, may I ask, what are you all doing? What's your exploration activities?
You may not ask, that's way too forward.
I'm asking anyway.
Fuck.
I think Fiore is just kind of... I mean, it's the general I'm looking around for interesting things.
Search?
I think Alrik is on the lookout for the usual, just trying to look for traps and secret doors, because apparently he's really good at that for some reason.
He is startlingly good at it, yes.
So would that also be search?
Yes, I think so.
I want Silk to try and like cross-reference whatever room they're about to walk into with like a different map level that he's drawn down to figure out exactly where they are. Can that be like sense direction or something?
I think sense direction is a good enough idea. I think you'll like have it, you'll know vaguely heading this way will probably take you like heading up north and heading up down south. More likely not, both ways will probably lead more or less to the big library corridor you were at before.
We'll do that then. I'll sense direction.
Okay. So, which way are you heading? North?
Yeah.
Okay. Fiore, with your torch in hand, you open the door and it leads down a long fucking corridor.
Nothing in the corridor.
No, doesn't seem that way anyway.
Shall we?
At the end of the corridor, though, there's a big, scary door.
Don't worry. If anything happens, just get behind me.
Happily.
We'll stay close.
It's a long fucking corridor.
This is a really long corridor.
Ass corridor.
Damn.
Fiore's like, Alrik, does this look trapped?
And he takes a look.
Alrik, you can tell it's not trapped, but you do hear something on the other side. The sound of scribbling and, like, labored breathing.
I think he whispers then, no, but someone's on the other side.
Fiore unsheaths his sword slowly, just in case. Shall we?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Well, you can all see this room, huh?
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Who here has and has not seen the hit horror movie Silence of the Lambs?
I've watched it 10 times.
Jesus, Red.
Well,
I love
this
it.
this room is... Maybe once it was a writing studio, but today its condition has been all but obliterated by dozens of tiny swatches of skinned flesh marked with tattoos. Judging by the workspace on the table in the middle of the room, these tattoos have been placed post-mortem, with a swathe of pale skin stretched over the desk, sporting a half-completed image of a sinister figure with many hands. Tentacle-like limbs sprout from its back, and its eyes are aflame with unholy fury. And sitting over the table is a ghoul. And this particular ghoul is an interesting figure, to say the least. He is wearing an apron, and he's got around his hip several tools, all seemingly for skinning and carving. But most interesting is the tool he has in his hand. He's got tattoo items, stick and pokes and shit, right? And he looks up at you. He's got like a single monocle, you know, the ones for magnifying so he can see up close. And he barely even recognizes that you're there for a moment before he squints. And I have a really scary question to ask real fast. And I think you're all safe, but I have a question. That question is, do any of you have tattoos anywhere on your body?
Yes, sorry. Fiore's got a crazy tramp stamp. No. No, I don't have any tattoos. Why on earth do you ask this?
Alrik, Silk, do either of you have tattoos?
I don't think so.
I didn't think about this in Alrik's design, but no.
Okay.
Ulrich also has a tramp
Good
stamp.
news. Good news. He does not immediately jump on you and try to eat you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh.
This man slowly pushes himself up and says, "Right! What's this then? You tree, you must be that Fogfen Few we've been hearing so much about lately. Oh dear. The mistress is very interested in you, she is. Or a lot of fuss about you after the mess you've caused. Coming out of my little hallway, no less." And he kind of pushes a chair aside and kind of hobbles to the front, his grey skin looking all the more sickly as he comes closer, and you can see blue veins under his skin in places.
What fortune that we don't have to introduce ourselves.
Oh, no need. The dungeons are alight with gossip now. And we thought the refleshioning was gonna be the most interesting news. But no. New adventurers, not quite as stellar as the last ones, I'll say that much. And he's slowly bringing his hand to his side for one of those skinning knives. I don't sense ink on any of you. That's a right shame.
Is it?
Skin only tastes so good once you've marked it, after all. And you know, I'm glad I've got some fresh human and elf flesh to work on. Morlock skin is just so lumpy and so unfathomably delicious smelling. I don't think I'm gonna finish this piece. I'm getting too hungry. But you, Tree, you'll all make fine canvases.
I don't think you'll be finishing any more pieces.
And the ghoul pulls that knife, and everyone, we're gonna roll initiative real fast. creepy little fuck. Go!
Gross.
Okay. So, top of the order is gonna be Alrik Ravra. Alrik, this particular ghoul, he definitely seems to be a little tougher than the others. For one thing, he's not dressed as a weirdo cultist. This guy has a sense of individuality to him, which is never good in a cult, right? Like, if someone sticks out in a cult, that means they're bad news.
Yeah.
As this tattoo artist skin eater is pulling himself up with its knife and hobbling towards you, what do you do?
Courageous Anthem.
Okay. So, using your lute or using your whistle?
Whistle. Alrik is far enough away.
Alrik, your whistling echoes through the walls, and he flinches for a moment before hissing and continuing his stride. You have 2 actions left. What do you do?
Shoot.
Okay, let it rip.
16.
That is unfortunately going to be a miss. Alrik, you shoot, and I think he kind of like just ducks slightly, and it goes over his shoulder, and he lets out another and now he's starting to speed up his approach towards you. I think he's looking at you with your beautiful Empyrean skin and decide you are who he wants. That's fun.
Is it fun?
It's a little fun.
Shoot again, maybe?
Shoot again. Fuck it. Why not? Go for it.
Son of a fuck. 13.
Unfortunately, that is another miss. He's gaining speed, Alrik. You shoot twice, and he's rushing, and he goes, and now he's upon you. He jumps at you, Alrik, and he hisses, and he is going to make a jaw strike against you. And that is a 21, which is a hit by 1, boy.
Yeah, that's a hit.
So that's going to be 2d8 plus 5 piercing damage. That's going to be 20 piercing. Good lord.
Ouch.
Oh my god. How are you doing, Alrik? He bites into your shoulder.
I think he's just trying to make sure that he doesn't get to anybody else, but like, ow.
And he is then going to try claw at you with his hand. Just, oh my fucking god.
No. No. No.
So that was a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
But Fiore, you're intervening?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a retributive strike.
Okay, good on you. Fiore, quickly, when you went to sleep this morning, which rune did you take? Ghost Touch or Vitalizing?
Vitalizing.
Okay, you knew you were going to be fighting against a couple of ghouls. So, Fiore, make me that attack roll against the tattoo artist, and then we'll roll that damage and the crit card.
28.
That would actually be a crit, because I haven't given you the bardic effect. Oopsie. Let me quickly drop that on everyone.
Oh my god.
That is a crit, Fiore.
Okay.
Doesn't something interesting happen on a crit with a vitalizing weapon? On a critical hit, the undead is enfeebled 1 until the end of your next turn. It also takes 1d6 persistent vitality damage. So, Fiore, describe this for me as it claws at Alric's throat.
I think that Fiore sees them coming, and he sees how hard that the ghoul is about to hit, and he goes, and like reflexively, he slashes up. I think it's like straight into his into his arm. Like probably at like a weak point, like at the elbow or something like that.
Yeah, your sword glows as bright as the sun as this happens, and he lets out a hissing afterwards, pulling his arm back and shaking at it. You did block some of this damage to Alrik, so that will be... Well, first off, roll me the damage that you do, and then we'll figure out what happens to poor Alrik.
22.
Wow. Okay, yeah, and he's going to take that and that persistent vitality damage. 2 times 1d6. Thank you very much. Oh, he's going to really get hurt. Holy sunlight glows from his wound, and he hisses in fury. Meanwhile, Alrik, he does still get you in the throat. So that will be 12 damage. You rolled snake eyes on that 2d6. 1 and 1.
Let's go.
Thank God.
So that's 12 minus Fiore's level plus 2, so that's only 6 damage to you.
Oh, okay.
Slay.
Where's that? Half. There we go.
You're still in a bad spot. Oh,
Yeah.
holy shit. He is gouged at your throat. But the fact that Fiore was able to quickly intervene and block back against him has given you the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, crit card, by the way. Ooh, gory. Alrik, you are sickened 1. That was a gruesome blow. You see blood and you feel queasy. You'll have a -1 on many of your skill checks until you take an action to kind of ground yourself.
Okay.
How's he doing? How's Alrik doing as he's like fucking rushed by this guy?
In pain, first and foremost, but also a little overwhelmed.
Fiore, it is your turn. And as the guy's turn end, by the way, he takes another 10 vitality damage. And he nat 20s on his recovery check. He will take no more vitality damage. And he is turning to you, hissing furiously. 2 Nephilim into one place. I'll sew your skin together like a quilt.
No, you won't. And Fiore is going to. I think he's just gonna strike.
Okay, go for it.
21.
That is a hit, and you know what? If Alrik were not singing right now, that would probably have been a miss.
Thank you, Alrik, for singing even with your throat cut.
Yeah, well, you know.
10 damage.
That's 10 damage, and you know what? I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's a persistent vitality damage back. You slice into him, and more holy light is exploding from within him, and he hisses like, ah! What now? You've got 2 actions left.
I think he's going to attack one more time.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna use a hero point. I don't want to do that. Thank you.
Okay. Fiore, that would have been a crit fail, but you pull yourself back at the last second.
24.
24 is a hit. Roll me that damage. How do you pull this back from the jaws of a cataclysmic failure?
I think his sword literally falls out of his hand. But he goes, oh! And he does the thing where it, like, you know when somebody is, like playing with a knife? I think he does that not on purpose, and it goes down, like, the other way. Like, it switches the grip, and he's like, not expecting it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a hit. Roll me that damage.
9.
9 damage. Okay, you slash into him. He's not looking great. And you've got 1 action left. He's stumbling back, hissing, and he seems to be eyeing up the skin in the room.
That's nice. Stop that.
1 action left. What do? You could recall knowledge with your religion if you want to figure out what he's doing. Unfortunately, you don't have your shield out because you got your torch out.
I think his last action, he's going to try and figure out if there's any like weaknesses or anything. He's gonna roll.
Okay. Yeah, roll me a religion check. You know he's undead.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell for him.
Okay, so by and large, he seems to be just an exceptionally strong ghoul, right?
Okay.
What you're worried about is the fact that he's eyeing up that skin. And you know that ghouls can sometimes heal by eating dead flesh. Oh god, he's got skin stockpiled everywhere like canvases in this room. And he's gonna stuff his face and heal himself if you don't deal with him fast.
I think Fiore is like, and he lets... I don't even think he's being secret about it. I think he just says what he thinks that the ghoul's gonna do.
Okay.
Like, out loud.
The ghoul stares at you as you say this. He says, "Quite a perceptive one, aren't you, champion? Oh yes, I'll be stuffing my face with Morlock skin, and then I'll be nice and strong again, and then I'll eat your skin."
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Silk, it's your turn. Cold sweat kind of appearing down your back. Anyway.
Just ignore it. Don't even worry about it.
On your hatch, Silk, Borbo says,
Mr. Silk, you must kill him. He is the nasty one. This is Alrik.
I'm planning on it. I think Silk's gonna hand it the apprentice. Quick draw and shoot.
Shoot him point blank with your gun.
Yeah.
Okay, do it. Go for it. Shoot him.
What else can a boy do? 22.
22 is a hit. Nice work. Roll me that damage.
8 damage.
Silk.
Mm-hmm.
How do you kill this? Borbo just identified him as Alrik, and he is turning to go back to the skin. How do you take him out? How do you stop him in his tracks with a gun?
Oh, headshot, straight up.
Dear Lord.
I don't think he's thinking about it, because that moment of panic when someone is going to be able to hurt us more after hurting us previously. He doesn't want him to be able to do that, so I think even without thinking, he just raises it, and it's too close.
Chikapow! Alrik lets out a single and eyes wide, he falls to the floor, dead. And that's the end of combat. Well done, everyone. How the hell are you all doing?
How is Alrik doing?
I think Alrik is sort of like slumping against the wall a little bit and trying to find anything that can patch him up.
Fiore's like, we're not waiting. And I think he casts Play on Hands. He's like, no. It's my turn.
Yeah, Alrik, that was a really bad one. Like, you were badly bloodied up there.
Thank you.
Of course.
Are you alright?
Been much better. Does he have his elixirs on him right now? I don't remember.
Yes. So
I think
one
it
second. You always have elixirs on you, like a lot of them. I think you have 6 at the moment, so you can just down a lot of them.
I think he uses 1. Sick.
You get 2 HP. Glug. Fiore and Silk, both of you will need to refocus to get those focus points back. Alrik, you could spend 10 minutes also treating your own wounds with a nature check.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna do that. I think he like drinks the potion, both the potions, and is like, "Don't know if I made these potent enough." Okay, and he just goes to the bandages.
Do you go into the awful skin office to do this, or do you wait until tiny cramped corridor?
I think Alrik is just gonna stay in the corridor for a second. He's sit down. They need a bit of a timeout.
I think if Alrik stays there, Silk sits next to him to refocus also.
Okay. So to refocus, you need to read through your spell book and just kind of like take notes and stuff. And Fiore, you just like hold your pendant of Sarenrae and pray to her.
Yeah, he's doing that.
So as you're all taking a minute, Borbo is like looking and saying,
That man, that was Alrik.
Alrik?
Borbo recognizes this man.
Who was he?
Well, when I knew him, he was secretary to Belcora.
Secretary.
Yes, he was in charge of the accounts, the income and expenditure. It was through him that many people were contacted to work in the Abomination vaults.
I see.
He was not good back then. He was man.
Oh. Was he similar?
No. He was very boring.
Boring.
Yes, he's a strange and scary man, but he was very plain. He read books, and he kicked Borbo sometimes, but then everyone did.
Oh.
He did not have the, obsession with the skin?
I assume that happens either during or after the whole ghoul thing.
Yeah.
Borbo knows very little about the ghouls.
know some basic stuff. I have to know about undead, because we're not supposed to let undead continue.
Maybe you should crash course us. Or we could learn more later about them.
Yeah, anytime.
So, regardless, Luna, do you want to make me a nature check to see if you're able to heal yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, in that case, you are able to restore yourself 2d8 plus 10 healing. Which is this. And that's going to be 17 healing to you as you apply some herbs, kind of like just treat your own wounds and make sure you are doing A-okay. How are you doing at the end of this 10 minutes?
Better. No more bleeding, thank goodness. I'm sure his shirt's all fucked up, but no more bleeding.
Silk has the option to fix that.
It is a white shirt.
Silk will offer in 5 seconds.
After he's done just ogling.
No, he's reading.
Borbo looks at you and says,
Mr. Alrik, you are looking the most dashing now.
Thank you, Boba.
regardless, I think, Silk, you can tell that this next room, it has 2 doors out. Both of those doors are probably going to lead close enough out into the main library. Mm-hmm. Although the paths they take will be different.
Okay.
Should we search this room to see if there's any information or anything?
Oh, you definitely can.
Yeah.
Would you like to? Oh god, it's so rancid. You step in and it's rancid.
Fiore steps in, he's like, ugh. I'm gonna quickly search. If you want to help, of course. But if you're uncomfortable, that's okay too.
I'll keep an eye out.
I'll help. I won't breathe too much in here, though. It's not the greatest.
That's fair.
Thankfully, the skin here, none of it seems human. It's Morlock, which isn't much better. But at least it's not like people.
Like
you know, it's not people from Otari.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what I will say is quite frightening is that woman on the skin, she does not seem to be human.
No.
There are tentacles coming out of her back. Her wrists bend in really weird ways, and her fingers are really long. Her eyes are hollow and black, and her teeth are bared. That's one freaky looking person.
Yeah. I think Silk might copy that image into his book for future reference. Okay.
Will you make me a crafting check, please? I want to see how well you can copy it. Oh, you're pretty good at crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a really good job. Like, really, really good.
He's a follower of Shellen. He can do anything.
Oh, is he a follower of Shellen?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, all right. In that case, I would have given you a +2 to it, which would have made a crit success. Yeah, you get it down perfectly.
Wonderful. I hate it.
You guys recall all this talk of a refleshing ritual and them talking about their goddess. You also recall discussion of a particular elder god in certain books.
I don't like it.
The hell do you all do? Wait, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Silk, you notice something when you're going through this room.
Oh.
There are some books here. Some very, very old-looking books. So old that you would assume that they're actually probably quite rare. Because, like, these look like they were probably written 500 years ago. And they seem to be on the topics of tattoo art and, like, taxidermy. But nonetheless, these are rare and probably out-of-circulation books.
Oh.
And you know someone in town who would probably be quite excited to get books like this. And in fact, there were many books in this floor which seemed to be very exciting to someone maybe very interested in books.
Silk thumbs around some of those books and picks them up and is like, Oh, that old cat would love this.
Hmm? Oh,
I think he's gonna take some.
like that book guy who doesn't like you?
Maury? Yes.
Fair enough. Are you gonna sell them to him?
Sell them, gift them, however I'm feeling towards them that day.
And so, as you hold this book in your hand, you see some words appear before you all. Quest accepted. Maury wants tomes.
Maury wants tomes. I love his dumbass face.
Did you edit the fucking name of this?
I did. Morlabent would be most excited about all the ancient books in the library. If you came to him with information, he would almost certainly eagerly provide a long list of specific titles, publishers, and general teams to seek in the shelves. If you get him some books, maybe he'll pay you. In short, these books weigh about 2 bulk. If you get a certain amount of books, he will pay you for them.
Okay.
So, if you can take 2 bulk worth of books. A bulk is kind of a vague term for weight, but like...
Can I actually fucking cheat?
What's your cheating?
Can I leave the books in the elevator?
You know who can carry things?
You could leave the books in the elevator, or you could give them to Fiore.
Yeah, but Fiore doesn't have to carry them the whole time. We could just put them in the elevator and take them when we're done.
That's a good
true,
point.
that's true.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Silk, you gather 2 bulk worth of books, which is approximately somewhere between 10 to 20 pounds.
Mm.
And you drop them in the elevator, and you can pick them up later. And for being clever and crafty, I'm going to give you a hero point.
Thank you.
Regardless, once you've thoroughly examined this room and you've found grim depictions of a weird multi-armed lady and books on tattoos and taxidermy, you guys are able to continue your journey.
Dice Will Roll will return after these messages. We now return to Dice Will Roll.
There's the door to the north and the door to the west.
Silk looks at his map and kind of sways towards the west door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fiore's pretty relaxed about any choice in direction that they take because he's just happy to be here.
Okay, well.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna keep holding this just in case. Is there? I mean, I suppose it wouldn't immediately be trapped. He opens this door. Oh my. Okay.
Close it. Close the door.
Okay.
Physically, Silk looks away. He looks away from that.
Okay, that was a lot.
Alrik, did you see that?
I think when Silk moved away from the door, Alrik probably caught a glimpse.
Tell the people at home what you all saw.
Mostly guts and limbs.
In a word, viscera.
Fiore, you're peeking through the door again, I can see. The desk in this office, which once was maybe a secretary's office, it has been repurposed into a messy butcher's block. There is a hatchet wedged into the top of the desk, and there's bits of decaying pale flesh and offal and dried blood all lying strewn about the room. It's been converted into it's like a butcher's block now. It's awful. It's disgusting. You hate this.
Fucked. Fiore's like, he's opened the door to the point where it's like only he's looking, and he's like, there's another door in that way.
There's a door to the south of the butcher block.
We don't need to go that direction
God,
if nobody wants to. That's fine. That's fine.
Bulbo can go. Perhaps Bulbo can scout if you are worried. Bulbo does not worry about the viscera. This is nothing to Bulbo.
Silk's kind of got like a hand over his mouth as if he's like sick, and he just kind of like nods.
Yahoo! Bulbo goes. La 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 la.
He squelches through the viscera. Ooh, he opens the door.
Noises.
Oh my god! Oh, this room is full of the corpse and bloaten.
Oh, come back.
Oh, there is the food and it is rotting.
Oh.
Oh! The big-eyed men are hanging upside down. Are they sleeping? No? No, they are not.
Oh.
Should I go get him? Should I go get him?
Oh!
Can you fetch him for me, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Look! Mr. Fiore, Mr. Sanchez, there is food in here.
Let's go back. This is pretty bad.
Yeah, Fiore, this room is no better. It seems to be a food storage place, but there are heaps of decaying bodies hung and stacked. Maybe it was a bedroom once. It's a meat locker now. It's mostly dead, dried out Morlock husks. There are some like preserved pickled foods, but they've got like blue bulges on them. And it's like, okay. No.
Fiore's like, Borbo,
Yes?
I think that you did a good job.
Yes?
Let's go back.
You think? Oh, Mr. Sanchez, you are so kind. Recently, everyone has been
He leans against the corpse.
Everyone has been complimenting me so much.
It's like, why don't I pick you up instead of that? He picks him up.
But there is the
He
pickles.
puts him on his shoulder.
Oh,
Why? Hey, Borbo.
the longer food
Why
has been
don't I
pickling,
show
the
you?
more delicious it is.
Why don't I show you how to make much more interesting pickles from things you can find in a dungeon?
Like what? What is your favorite pickled food?
He's walking.
You've completely fucking distracted him as you leave the fucking meat locker.
Fiore's like, moss.
Moss?
Yeah.
Mr. Sanchez,
What?
this does not sound like the most satisfying of food.
Yeah, it reminds me of being a kid.
What?
You say this as you've entered into the room with Alrik and Silk. What the fuck do you guys do?
What are you talking about pickled moss for?
Well, I didn't usually pickle it.
Wait, what?
What? Why are you looking at me weird?
I think Alrik is trying to think back into his great knowledge of plants and things of that nature. Is moss edible?
Make me a nature check.
Okay.
Fiore is like, it's a good source of water.
Alrik, surprising no one, you probably shouldn't eat moss. There are some, but most moss, at least most common mosses, are generally not safe and not recommended. It's not toxic, but it's quite acidic and it can cause serious stomach problems. There are edible mosses, but generally the moss that you just find around is gonna be not the healthiest meal. Then again, it is. You do know of some cultures that eat it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just unusual. It is not a food you would hear most people fondly say, oh, it reminds me of my childhood.
I think Alrik looks at Fiore and says, well, I guess so long as you didn't suffer any stomach pains, you should have been... those are safe to eat. You didn't suffer any stomach pains as a child, did you?
Well, I mean, I guess sometimes, but it just was like, you just have to kind of be careful.
Oh, can we not talk about eating stuff in this room?
Okay, yeah, that is a good point. We should leave this room now.
Regardless, do you want to go to the door to the north, or do you want to leave this place?
North.
You could try the door to the north. Fiore's like, why don't you cover your eyes, Silk? And I'll open the door.
Silk looks sad.
Oh, it's a hallway.
It's a hallway.
It seems to be stretching back to the main library.
Oh. We've been that way.
Thank God.
There's also this door here, and he points to the one that's directly next to him.
Make me a perception check. Right now. Urgently. All of you hear it. Approaching voices. Multiple having a conversation. Would you all like to make me a stealth check?
Oh
Yes.
my god, I will try. Let's hope that God loves me today.
Oh, jeez.
Footsteps. The three of you poke your head out of a room, and you hear voices. One voice, a woman's voice it sounds like, calls and says, "We have been making sure to have traps everywhere. Our patrols have doubled since their invasion the other day." And then a second voice, a slightly muffled one, replies. And it says, "Good. I am not letting an upstart group of adventurers get in our way once more." And as soon as you hear that second voice, Borbo goes rigid. The conversation continues, and it's getting louder now as it approaches. "The efforts to relocate the Morlocks to their original floor have been most successful. Everything is in place for her refleshioning."
Oh my god.
"Your refleshioning is a moronic idea, Nakzarin. You leave everything to me, as we previously agreed. You must remember, you are merely a librarian. Your fancies of the leader of a church are simply deluded." And you gain a flash of sight of people coming closer. Silk and Alrik, you two can't see them very well. But Fiore, with your dark vision, you make out several ghoul cultists following two figures. On the right is a woman. She is putridly ugly. Her hair has thinned into long silver wisps. Her fangs pulled back into sharp points and her eyes a dead red. She wears dark green robes. And she carries a staff which has several human skulls around the tip. Walking next to her is a tall man in a green cloak with a hood that covers his face. Fiore, you can glint the sight of a mask made of porcelain beneath that hood.
Okay.
He almost floats across the floor as he walks. There is no sound, there is no bobbing of footsteps as he walks. It's more like he glides across the floor. But he is very, very tangible. He's a corporeal being. As they walk past that brief glint in the corridor where you can all see them, the man continues and says, "We will be successful in the ancient plan. Absalom will suffer for what it had done. And vengeance will be ours at last after 500 years of humiliation." The woman bows her head and says, "Yes, our goddess will be born." And as they continue on, they continue north, and their conversation fades into nothing. And Borbo is in your hand, Silk, and he has gone completely rigid.
Silk looks down at him, really worried. Borbo. Who was that?
He's alive. He's alive. This has been 500 years, but he's alive. Master Azinray lives.
Borbo. He's not going to hurt you again, okay?
You told me he was dead.
We thought he was.
But he's alive, so he can hurt me.
Borbo,
Mm.
you have 3 very strong adventurers who would do anything to keep you safe.
We wouldn't let him hurt you.
They were talking about a lot of stuff.
I think the most worrying thing is the reflection.
I have a really bad feeling they're trying to bring Belcora back.
Me too.
My thoughts exactly. The man seemed dismissive, but if they actually pull it off, it's...
We need to figure out exactly what their plans are. Unfortunately, I was right about them setting traps, wasn't I?
Little bit.
I'm glad we took the route we did.
Me too. We can continue to take different routes every time. It'll keep us off their trail as much as possible.
Don't believe you can avoid all those patrols.
How is he
Well-
still alive? Master
Maybe-
Azinray was 300 years old when he took me as his apprentice, and you said it was 500 years ago. The elves do not live for this long.
Maybe
Not naturally.
he turned himself into something like a lich. Or maybe the reason that he made you into what you are was because he wanted to do something like it to himself.
Could you see him?
Yes.
What did he look like?
He had a porcelain mask on.
I think you might have hit it on the head then.
That's why. He wasn't alone either, obviously. He had cultists with him.
Well, a worrying development, but
Sounded like the lead too. What do you say, librarian?
Yeah. We should explore. Not up north yet. I would love to say that we should just go in guns blazing. But I don't think that's a good idea. It's not strategic. And I'm not the most strategic, but I'm also not dumb.
I think we need to be a lot more careful as well.
From where you are, you can see that you could very quickly dash towards the west to go back to the place where you were at the stairs before. This would lead you to the corridor where you originally entered this place. If you don't want to be going north, because that seems to be where some of the stronger baddies are hiding out.
Back to the library?
We could do that. There was a whole direction we didn't really go in.
Alrik, we'll need you to be extra perceptive about traps. Is it okay with you?
I'll make sure to triple check everything. Don't worry.
We're counting on you.
Borbo, for what it's worth, just buries himself in the memorabilia on your hat, Silk. He seems rattled, to say the least.
Yeah. Poor thing.
Poor thing.
You guys make your way into the main library. As you make your way, you can see that there are, like I said, many books. You could probably pocket more books, but I would have to roll and see if there's a random encounter if you spend too long in this central area. Is that something you're wanting to risk, or do you want to jump across and try find somewhere else to hide? Once you enter this hall, you can see that there are two doors across from you, and then like there's more stuff up to the north, and there is that corridor that you originally came from with the stairwells.
I'm not sure. Silk is really tempted to go after books, but not for the reason of selling them to Mori.
What? You don't. That's not your focus.
No, I think specifically right now at this moment after hearing that, he's interested in anything they can find. Any kind of like book that might be a record keeping book.
Oh, that's fair.
Would you like to try risk encountering something?
I know I don't have any way of knowing, but if it's for something like that, then yes.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a d20 roll. Okay. You're able to spend an hour going through these books and no one comes through here. I think, Alrik, you do find some traps every once in a while. There are certain books which are rigged to pull alarms. You are able to stop anyone from taking them beforehand.
Okay, thank goodness.
But you are able to find 2 bulk worth of books and continue on with your 5th out of 6th hour of study, I believe. If you spent 1 more studying in this place, you would have a very good idea. Because remember, you spent 4 hours last time studying here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you spent 1 more hour, you'd have a very good idea of most of the recon knowledge stuff on this floor. Like, if one came up, you'd have a +1 to it. But for now, Silk, here's 2 bulk of books in your bag.
I hope those are helpful.
They might be. But that's something you'll have to deal with later.
He was probably just reading titles and first pages.
Do you guys want to risk another hour studying here? Or do you want to get out?
I think Silk at least kind of whispers to them that if they spend just a little bit longer, then maybe they could find something really worthwhile, but it's up to them if they want to leave. And Silk emphasizes that it's up to them. I think the undertone of what he's saying is, I am not going to get you two in trouble.
Fiore's like, I'm good staying or leaving. I will protect you either way.
But if you don't want to, you shouldn't have to.
I don't mind.
If it's good for information, then we could stay longer. We just shouldn't linger after.
I know there's something more here. I can just feel it. So as soon as we can get something, then we can leave.
Okay.
So, I'm going to roll the tensest d20 roll in the world.
Okay.
The DC has gone up slightly. And I'm going to make this a secret roll because I'm evil.
You're making me nervous.
Well, your second hour in, there are some close calls. Ghoul cultists do wander here, but you're able to hide. And you avoid any more encounters with them. So, by spending these 6 hours in total studying here, you've been able to get a bonus to your recall knowledge on regional history, arcane topics, or occult writings when investigating this area. So basically, everything on this floor that you're investigating, you'll have a +1 on your checks to do so. Which is really helpful, just as a heads up. What I'm also going to give you, Silk, is a book that you come across.
Okay.
On the history of ghouls.
He doesn't even look through it. He takes that.
Gonna read that later at home?
Yeah. That goes next to his Astronomicon.
Cool. Well, no one else sees that. What now? You guys have successfully investigated this room more. However, there is a good possibility, as you've all spent time reading through these books, learning more, you understand more about the society going down here. From what you're gathering, this whole place used to be Belcora's personal library, and the people who stayed here were her researchers, her mages, her attendants, the people who learned stuff for her to use. But something must have happened after she died. And they've all become cultists of this god that they seem to be obsessed with doing the refleshing with. You don't know.
Okay.
But now they've become the cult of the canker. And they are horrible, twisted beings. Where do you guys want to go now? Because, like I said, there's a few rooms here that you can go through. The hallway that you had come through from Alor Rosk's place is marked the Scrivener's office on a sign on the wall. The one down to the south that you were through earlier, the big reading room, is called Reading Room. And the door to the stairwells that you came through before, that is obviously just marked stairwell. Other than that, there is a repair storage, workroom, safety, personal quarters, and Belcora's office is up to the north. There's also a restricted collection to the north as well. That being said, a lot of these places are to the north, so maybe you're wanting to avoid it. Right now, the safest bet appears to be back through the stairwells you came through in the first place.
Yeah. As hungry as Silk is for a restricted section, he'll control himself until they're in a safer spot next time they come here. I think, yeah. Through that stairway.
Okay. You guys want to head through?
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Alrik, you see something?
He stops them immediately.
As soon as you step into that hallway, you see, okay, they know this is where you came from. There are runes on the walls. They're etched in, and you're able to kind of now that you see them, you can bypass them. But thank God for your investigations right now, because those were rigged to create very loud sounds that would bring the whole place down on you. In fact, the stairwells themselves, they don't even bother with the loud sounds. Those stairwells are now rigged to explode.
Oh.
They got fireballs ready to torch you if you walk up those stairs. Coming down the elevator was a good idea.
Okay. Silk? It's a good idea about the elevator. Be careful where you step. Look carefully on the wall. There are runes that will sound alarms and alert everyone that we are here.
Fantastic.
Oh, shit.
I had a feeling they weren't in use.
Yeah. We can bypass them if you follow me. And don't touch the staircase, it's rigged to blow.
Oh. Great.
Lovely. Let's be careful.
Yeah, I think they knew that we first came down through here. And they step through the hallway very carefully, making sure not to get in the way of any of the runes.
So as you make your way into the room on the other end of the corridor with the stairs, you find yourselves presented with a most peculiar construction.
Oh?
It appears to be a giant metal dwarf head.
Okay, interesting.
It almost looks kind of like Art Deco-y. It's a lot of straight edges, a big nose. Art Deco isn't quite right. It's more like, it almost looks like a Probopass, you know, like a Pokemon Probopass, except it has a big beard instead of a mustache. And it's very rectangular and just pressed up against a wall. Now, what's very interesting is that its eyes appear to be glass, and on the other side of the glass, you can see potions and stuff.
Oh my god. Okay.
And there is there's a lot of stuff. There is a little slot on its side, very you could push something into it. But most curiously, in its mouth, there appears to be a skeleton of a dead kobold.
Oh.
Looks like it tried to climb in to grab items and got stuck, perhaps. But you can see it is clinging onto something. Treasure. If you pull it out, maybe you could,
Is this a vending machine?
Now, you, Silk, Alrik, and Fiore might not be able to recognize it, but to someone else, to someone from our world, you might think, damn, this giant robot dwarf head looks a hell of a lot like a vending machine.
Oh my god.
That is so funny. I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm metagaming. Is the slot big enough for a coin?
The slot does look big enough for a coin, but also there is a dead kobold in the mouth. Like,
yeah. I think Silk thinks this is like a construct, personally. Or like some kind of golem.
Me seeing a vending machine for the first time. It's a construct or some kind of golem.
Is this a trap?
Seems safe. Do you want me to do it?
Yes.
Well, Fiore would like to investigate the kobold and see what's going on there. Does it look recently dead?
Oh, no. Well, actually, no, hold on. No. Fiore, you do look closer. And I think you recognize, yeah, this thing is probably like maybe a month old? Maybe?
Gross, but odd.
I think skeleton is less accurate than corpse. But it is jammed all the way in there, and you can see on the other side, it is clutching a potion of some sort. Treasure.
Potion of get unstuck.
The fool.
This is so tragic.
Saren, forgive me. And he pulls out the kobold.
Make me an athletics check to unstuck that fucking kobold.
27.
Okay, yeah, fucking is. Yoink! You yank that kobold out so good, and it seems to be holding a minor healing elixir. Yay!
Oh. Fiore picks up the healing elixir. And I think that he very gently puts the kobold down in a position that is a little more respectful.
Thank you.
What?
Huh?
Did you just talk?
And fellas, the next thing that happens is quite distressing.
Oh.
The vending machine shakes a little bit, and shakes a little more. And then 4 cube spider-like legs emerge from it, and it stands up.
Whoa.
Silk screams.
So it is this giant square dwarven head opens its maw, and from its mouth it speaks, and it says, "Greetings, adventurers! Thank you for unsticking my mouth."
Huh.
It's no problem.
You could talk?
Yes, I can talk, communicate, and speak.
Huh.
Awesome.
Great.
My name is Wanda, the Wandering Merchant Machine.
I'm Fiore.
Hello, customer Fiore.
Oh, are you a shopkeeper?
Yes, I contain many wares. And they can be yours if you insert gold coins.
How did you get down here?
Insert gold coins and maybe you'll find a secret.
What?
Perhaps I can interest you in rope, lantern oil, or perhaps alchemical bombs.
Shut the fuck up.
And fellas, it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you at last my shopkeeper for this campaign. I have posted a link to her items. You can also double click her. She is a merchant. You can drag and drop stuff for money off her sheet. As she kind of like clinks down, she opens her mouth and reveals all sorts of items that you have no idea where it got any of this. This is frightening. And you have no idea what this is doing here. Borbo's on your hat, Silk, and Borbo looks down and says,
What is that?
I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous.
This is not something I've ever seen before, nor heard speak of.
When did you come down here?
Down? Ha 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 ha! Please insert gold coins for a secret.
Were you born down here?
I don't think that it's gonna answer.
Please insert gold coins for a secret. I wish I could tell you.
Oh.
Please insert gold coins for a secret.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hold on. And Fiore's like fumbling through his bag. He's like, sorry. Oh.
No. You must insert gold coins for a secret and a treasure. Perhaps I can interest you in goo grenade. Lesser. Or perhaps mud bomb. Lesser. Or perhaps even a glowing lantern fruit. All for serious discounts.
Oh, wow.
The more gold you insert, the greater the chance of a secret.
Should we really be putting gold coins into this thing?
Well, I mean, why not? This is the first.
I dispense treasure.
This is like. These are like this is the second really friendly person we've met.
Is this a person?
Please insert gold coin for secret.
I'm getting a gold coin. Fiore's gonna insert a gold coin.
It like pulls away, and it's like, no, you must make a selection in the item menu.
Oh, where or how do you open the menu? Wait, so if I have a question. So if I have a rune on a weapon and I'm using like the paladin thing, will it be that rune and whatever enchantment? Yeah,
so your holy weapon, it does not take up a rune slot.
Okay, that is awesome and it rules. Fiore's like, I feel like this place feels like it's gonna have ghosts. I don't know. It just there's been undead so far.
An excellent observation, customers, Fiore.
Can I get that ghost touch rune?
Ghost touch. A weapon etched with this rune can harm creatures without physical form. A ghost touch weapon is particularly effective against incorporeal creatures, which almost always have a specific vulnerability to ghost touch weapons. Incorporeal creatures can touch, hold, and wield ghost touch weapons. 75 gold pieces.
Okay. We'll find more treasure again later. Fiore coughs up 75.
Okay, and Fiore, as you insert those 75 gold pieces, Wanda the Wandering...
Takes a while.
Yeah, it does take a while, but Wanda starts to kind of like...
Can I say... I hope you'll make this real. Can the coin slot be like those like little fake tattoo machines where you put in like 4 at a time and then you like slam it into the machine and then do it over and over again?
100%.
Please.
I mean, it's a vending machine, right? Like it's an old school one. So you are like putting them in, it's taking a while, crank. But once you have put 75 in, Wanda begins to tremble a little bit. And then Wanda clamps its mouth closed, and you see its bared teeth for a second before opening, and plink, out comes a runestone with Ghost Touch inscribed onto it.
Thank you.
And Wanda says, "Thank you very much for your purchase."
It's not a problem.
And as you do, Wanda's eyes widen, and then shut, and then widen again. And it says, 9141 remaining. Hint.
What?
Caden Kalen is the god of freedom, ale, wine, and bravery, and one of 3 mortals to pass the test of the Starstone.
He sure is.
Okay. Knew that.
Please
one.
insert more coins to complete my goal and set me free in order to regain more hints.
Whoa.
What?
Wait.
Do you
Set you
need
free?
help? Well,
9,
Please insert more gold.
914. Is that 9,000 gold you need?
Please insert more gold.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
I will refresh treasure every day.
will you
Every
be
day.
here?
That is also very good to know.
I wander the dungeons, although I cannot go very far right now.
Okay. That's good to know.
Okay. Wanda.
How can I help you, valued customer?
Fiore, by the way, is just he's just admiring his little rune. He's very happy.
I know you're a machine, but can you tell me anything?
I can tell you many things. Please insert gold coins for hints.
Ugh. I just want to know what that droplet is. How much is that selection?
Which selection, valued customer?
What number is that one under?
I don't think they have numbers per se. It's more like it's a rotating gallery of items, right? And like every once in a while, if you look at one and you're interested, it almost stops automatically. It's magic. Come on.
Okay.
It's rotating several frames, and you can see through the eyes and the mouth, which is wide open.
The perfect droplet?
The perfect droplet, intense blue water, magically holds its shape, a perfect sphere. If you attach this spell heart to armor, it gives you resistance to water and water effects. If you attach this spell heart to a weapon, after you cast a water spell by activating the droplet, your body becomes mist-like. Until the end of your turn, you can move through enemy spaces. 55 gold.
Oh, okay.
He looks at his coin purse.
I'll be selling books later, so I guess it's fine.
He puts in 55 gold over the span of like 3 minutes.
And with another shudder and a ding, it disperses this perfect droplet into your inventory. You take it out. It is, like I said, a blue sphere, and it almost like magnetically will connect to either your clothes or your weapon. It'll shrink down, it'll grow to whatever size needed, but it will always remain perfectly circular. If you attach it to your armor, you'll gain a resistance to water effects. If you attach it to your weapon, you can cast Spout as a cantrip, and when you cast Spout, you can then literally just kind of move through creatures as if you were made of mist.
Okay. I mean, Silk quite literally doesn't wear armor, so it's gonna be the weapon.
Your clothes count as armor. You'd wear it like a little brooch. But the weapon is probably better.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be 55 gold, please. Wanda kind of shudders again and then says, Hint! Alchemy can make you faster, increase your saves, counter invisibility, and even change your damage type. Keep a hand free. 9086 remaining.
I don't like that number.
Wait, it said something about wanting to be freed. Maybe that gold is the amount that we need to eventually pay to free it?
I assume so. Just 9,000.
Well, I'm not saying we need to do it now. I don't think
Gonna
we
be
have
over
that
some
money.
time. No. Alrik looks in his Alrik looks in his pouch.
I have 3 gold and 3 silver right now. So.
I only have 63.
But I would definitely be a regular customer.
Especially if they refresh every day.
Thank you for your returning patronage, valued customer.
No problem.
I suppose this might be useful for traversal. I could... Maybe the climbing bolt?
A climbing bolt. A shaft of this bolt is wrapped with fine twine. When the bolt strikes a solid surface, the twine unwinds and enlarges into a 50-foot-long rope, securely fastened to the surface the bolt struck. The bolt can be pulled free with an interact action and a successful DC 20 athletics check.
The hell does that
This
mean?
climbing bolt is useless without a crossbow to fire from.
Interesting.
Thankfully, and Wanda's merchandise shuffles. I also provide crossbows at a bargain price.
Oh. Well, isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
Thank you. I suppose I'll take the climbing bolt and the crossbow then?
Excellent choice, valued customer. That will be 15 gold per climbing bolt and 3 gold per crossbow.
I'll do the crossbow first, so they insert 3 quite quickly. It's only 3 gold.
908 tree. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Anyone with hands can carry a shield. Raise a shield for a significant bonus to AC until the start of your next turn.
I don't know what that means.
Can you say hello, Gordon, real quick?
Hello, Gordon!
Hello, Gordon.
Alright.
So that is 3 gold from your sheet, Alrik, and 3 gold to its sheet, and you have a spiffy little crossbow just in case. Crossbows are generally not going to be quite as useful as a bow to you, because they require reloading, but this is essentially a fucking grappling hook, right?
This is a traversal thing, not a weapon thing.
You can also use a crossbow in much closer combat than a longbow. Like, a crossbow can be shot point blank. But
True.
again, it requires a reload, so...
Well, if we're in an emergency.
Yeah, true.
how many climbing bolts do you wish to buy?
I think they'll buy like 3, so what, 45 gold?
Okay, sounds good. You spend quite some time inserting, and then clank, rattle, and it kind of like pauses for a second before it says 9038. The spells, I came from deep below.
Well, that was unsettling, Wanda.
My apologies, valued customer. Please, get me out of here!
We'll do our best. We don't have all of the money right now. Because
Please,
that's a lot of money. I would.
please.
I promise you that if I had 9,000 gold right now, I would just spend it all. I
Gold and customers are rare in the dungeon.
will we'll definitely be looking out for you. We've been coming around a lot, so you'll have a repeated customer with us, and we'll probably get more treasure.
Loyalty card. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you a loyalty card. It just says loyalty card.
Awesome.
Okay. Let's leave.
Well, we're gonna go keep looking for treasure to sell for gold. And
Wonderful.
we'll see you again soon.
Wonderful.
Have a good day.
Wonderful.
What direction
Yes.
do you guys want to go in?
Thank you. Come again. And
this
Wander,
one.
the wandering vending machine, clank, 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 with those giant square spider legs. It only has 4 legs, but they're like Spider-E. Begins to march out of the room elsewhere into the dungeon.
Okay.
That was weird.
That was really weird. I didn't like that.
An interesting character.
Purple has never heard of this Wanda person.
Never?
I think they've been
No, never.
cursed.
How horrible. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's an evil creature. I don't like it either way.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty useful. I do
I just get a
genuinely.
bad feeling off of it.
That's fair.
Okay.
What now? How are you guys doing? That was definitely an unusual. Also, Wanda did just march right back to where the ghouls were, no fear whatsoever.
Fiore's like, well, we've made some purchases. I was not expecting to make purchases in the dungeon, but he shrugs.
Me either.
It's useful. I'll have to get this installed when we go back. What direction do you want to go?
I suppose if that thing is heading that way, then I suppose north wouldn't be as dangerous as before.
Okay. Let's go that direction. And if anything seems too dangerous for us to handle, we'll run.
As you open the door to the north, it opens into a short hallway. Another door at the very end, and a door to the west.
Let's try this first door here. Alrik, does this look trapped?
He stares at the door.
He's giving him a fucking look.
Is it-
No, doesn't seem to be.
Doesn't seem like it. Should be safe.
Do you push open the door, Fiore?
Yes.
Okay. The door opens and you see stairs, although they are not stairs going down. They're stairs going up.
Oh.
Perhaps this leads up to the servants' quarters where you met Borbo. Remember, there were stairs over there? Seems to match up in the Astronomicon, Silk.
Silk, or Fiore calls Silk over. He's like, hey, I think that these are stairs leading back up. I don't think we need to go this way right now, but...
If we need to, then it leads to the servants' quarters, I believe.
Specifically around a pantry and kitchen. My mistake. Or maybe it goes to Volux Island, actually. Yes, going through your thing, it seems to head to Apprentice Island, where you did meet Borbo for the first time.
Okay. It leads to Apprentice Island?
Oh, okay.
Specifically the room with the debt worm. Do you remember that? Ugh.
Well, we don't need to go that way right now, but...
If we do, we know where it is.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to know.
So, now there's a door to the north again. Do you want to head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The walls of this empty room are decorated with hundreds upon hundreds of tiny little hash marks, as if someone has been counting days for ages. To the northwest, an iron door with a barred window sits in the wall, a large but open padlock hanging from the door's latch. But that's not really what worries you. What worries you is the man in this room. Well, not quite a man. He's got red skin. He's not wearing a shirt, but a giant metal pauldron is on his shoulder. He's got a lot of muscle and a lot of fat. And around his waist, a belt with many weapons. In his hand, he holds a trident, 3 forked prongs glinting. His legs are furry and hooved like a goat. His face is fanged, and coming from his head are 2 black curling horns. This devil, because that is what it must be, it is a devil, a true devil, looks up at you all, grunts, and says, "Right!" This episode of Dice Will Roll would not have been possible without the support of our patrons. Kyonko-chan, Horus, Alexia Blackthorn, Lightning Scar, Dr. Caesar MD, A Potato, Derpy Gamer, Quinlan Boss, Princess Alavi, Emily is Gay, Dexton, Miamai, Abigail Wallet, Knight the Werewolf Teacher, Ashley, Actually a Bot, Violet, Seraphine, Kyle Damon, Soul Grease Lobo, Phoebe Jeebies, Daisy Gilliam, Lux Rexus, Tony Saunders, Mita, Arave, Marshmallow thinks you're cool. Aw. Ferric Falcon, Luis Loza, Aries, Alexander Crizzle, May Cohen, Skyly, Genuinely Tricked, Transgirl Trish, Bal Punyon, Giant the Catman Extraordinaire, Matthew Wilson Krasnovich, Tillin Shark, Glitch HD, Jace Snooks, Jonathan Love, G Barbera, Luke, Gideon, Simon Strange, Seth, Kira, Lichlope, Gizmo, Cass, Fable McElduff, Ava, Rem T. Bright, Lonesome Chunk, Steph, Sean C., Natasha Lumley, Rhiannon C., Ellie, Jenna Mitchell, Kane Kendrick, Sky Evangeline, Triceratops, Anna Maria, Jordan, Emily Laderna, John the Bookhoarder, SS66 Seeker, and Dame Valerie III. Special thanks to Sky Evangeline for her Patreon cameo, Wanda the Wandering Merchant Machine. If you'd like to see what you can get for helping us keep it rolling, check out patreon.com/diceroll today.